In this tutorial, we're going to go ahead and use Photoshop CC 2220 to record an action to create an oil painting. So when we create our own action, it allows us to create a multiple step process into something that really will take us a click or two of a button without having to go through and do everything. So if we take a peek, let's look at our beach. So this is our picture of our beach, standard. And then once we apply the action, we get a oil painting look. So if we could do Control Plus, we can kind of scroll in and see how it changes that image. So it makes it really, really fun and really easy once you've got the action recorded. So let's go ahead and close all those down. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Let's do a file. Let's do open. And we want to open our oil boat sample. So it's the red boat. Here, oil boat sample. Sorry about that. Started to think I was going nuts. Alrighty, so from there, let's do a file, save as. Let's go ahead and find our actions folder. Let's change it to first initial, last name, oil boat, and save it as a PSD. And save, and I've already recorded it once, so it should say there. Alright, so this is what we're going to play with. Next thing we want to look at is our size, image size. So right now it's 11 by 17, so that's the size of a tabloid piece of paper, so two pieces of paper on top of each other. That's way bigger than you're going to ever be using it. For this tutorial, let's go ahead and make that width 8.5 and our resolution 300, so you could use this in a print application if you wanted to. And go ahead and say OK. So I'm going to do a Control Plus and zoom in a little bit. Hold my space bar, grab my grabber so I can see what's going on. Let's do a Control S and save what we've got so far. Alright, so now we're actually going to start playing with the actions themselves. Let's go to Window and come down here to Actions and pull open that panel. Within that panel, let's go to the hamburger menu for a new set. A set gives us a folder, a place to keep things. I'm going to go ahead and name this Danielle, so I've got a place where I know what it is. Alright, within this, I now need to record my actions themselves. So I need to go to the flyout menu, and we need a new action. And we're going to call this paint, or photo to paint, to oil paint. How about that? And we're going to keep it in Danielle and push record. Now I know I'm recording because now it's got a red light. So anything I do now is going to start getting recorded as something it has to do going forward. So let's go ahead and go to Image and Adjustments. Let's grab Hue and Saturation. Let's bump that saturation up to 50 to make those colors even more bright so they look a little bit more vivid as we turn them into a painting itself. And let's say OK. Alright, now we're going to play with our filter gallery to create quite a few other effects. So I'm going to go to Filter. I'm going to come down here to Filter Gallery. It's going to take a second to pop up because it's being really slow this morning. And once it does, we're going to apply 4 different effects. So it's at 100% right now. I'm going to bring it down a little bit so I can kind of see what's going on. Alright, so my first effect that I want to add is I want to do distort. I want to do glass. Within glass, I want my distortion to be 3. I want my smoothness to be 3. I want my texture to be canvas. And my scaling to be 79. So now I can see what's going on there. So now that's my first effect. Don't push OK yet. We want to go down here to the bottom and do another new layer effect. So now instead of glass, I want it to be artistic. I want it to be paint daubs. I want my brush size to be 4. I want my sharpness to be 1. My brush type to be simple. And don't push OK yet. And all these numbers are in the written instructions if you want to go back to those. Let's add one more layer effect. So we're going to go to, let's close artistic. Let's look at brush strokes. We want angled strokes. We want our direction balance to be 46. Our stroke length to be much shorter. We want it to be 3. So we get those details back. And we want our sharpness to be 1. Don't push OK yet. We're going to do one more layer effect. So we're going to push plus right here at the bottom. This time we want it to be texture. We want texturizer. We want our canvas to be, or we want texture to be canvas. Our scaling to be 65. Our relief to be 2. And our light to be on the top left. Now that I've got all 4 of those things going on, so you can turn them on and off and see what the individual elements do as far as one at a time. So we want them all to be on. We want to push OK. So now if we look at the filter gallery, it shows all the different things that we have set as far as the filter gallery goes. Alright, we're getting closer. We now want to duplicate this background layer. So let's right click on our background layer and duplicate layer. You don't have to worry about renaming, background copy is fine, and push OK. Alright, now while we're on that new layer, let's go to image. Let's go to adjustments, and we want to take all the color out, so we want to desaturate it. Now, while we're still on that top layer, we're going to change that blending mode from normal down to overlay. We're not done yet. Still on that top layer, we want to go to filter. We want to come to stylize. We want to come down to emboss. Emboss, we want our angle to be 135. We want our height to be 1 pixel. And our amount is going to be 500%. And we're going to say OK. Now while we're still on layer 1, we're going to change that opacity down to about 40%. Alright, so it's at 40%. And now we're pretty good. It's not a bad thing we've got going so far. So let's do a Control Plus and kind of see how our picture looks. Definitely has a big change from how we were originally. I'm going to do a Control Minus and zoom out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and change out and push stop on my recording. So now I'm going to do a file and save. Middle. And save the boat that I've got so far. Now let's see if this actually works. Let's test it. So let's go File and Open. And let's open up that beach JPEG that we had open earlier. I'm going to do an image size just to make it a little bit smaller in case it's huge. It's not too bad. 6x4 is fine. We can leave it there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is going to select my layer. I'm going to come here to my actions. I'm going to choose my photo to oil paint, and I'm going to push play. And look how it magically makes that all those processes that we just had to do so much easier. Isn't that kind of fun? I think it's fun. Undo. I just moved my background copy. So you're going to do a file, save as, first initial, last name, underscore, beach painting. .psd, and that's the one you're going to turn in there. So you could easily, for publications you're creating, do some really cool oil paintings. Maybe you're doing a feature article. Maybe you want to make some images that are really inconsistent look more similar to each other. Maybe you want to do something a little more artsy. That's where these actions come really, really in handy. So I think this is a fun one, and I hope you enjoyed it.